And we're live, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Welcome to the imho.love show, folks. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. This is our friend Edwin. And welcome to the show. IMHO, in my humble opinion, .love. Because that's what it's all about, baby. .love. And thank you all for tuning in. We're up here in the new studio. I think everything's going pretty good. So if any of our regulars are watching, if you could just text Mike and tell him everything looks all right. Everything seems okay here. And welcome to the show. Like I said, my name's Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg, and we do this show almost every Wednesday night at 7:30. And it's in my humble opinion, .love. Of course, everything's an opinion. Facts are few and far between these days, and certainly subject to your discretion. Same here. You might believe us, you might not. And that's fine either way. You can't please everybody, man. And that's one of the things that I posted a funny little thing a couple days ago. It says, you can't please everybody. You're not pizza. So we'll pull this a little closer. There we go. How's the sound better? That's probably got to sound better now.
Okay.
So, okay. And that's, and Mike, when I thought of the theme for this week's show, one of the things I notice you're a very accomplished guy, but you spread yourself a little thin. You still overcommit yourself to things. I know you're getting better at it. I am too. But I also know that the Tao tells you not to do that.
Well, actually, I don't know.
Well,
Everything's got to be in balance, but I'm of the philosophy that when it comes to responsibility, take as much responsibility as you can bear.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of a hallmark of leadership, and the Tao teaches us leadership. So, it also preaches, the Tao Te Ching Lao Tzu also tells you to do what comes naturally. So,
Right.
I've been hyperactive ever since I was a child. So,
Yeah.
If I'm not doing it, then I'm not happy.
Well, you have that that daddy take care kind of a air about you.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And the devil take care attitude as well. So I got the heart attack. It's like, I'll just do a burn pile and not drink any water and just keep up with it's just not thinking. So
Daddy take care and devil make care.
devil make care.
That's funny. I have found myself in similar situations, and what it is when people come to you with their needs, wants, and concerns, being as empathic as we are, we feel their need, we feel their the longing they have to fix their issue, and of course we both like seeing things come to a wonderful result. So we extend ourselves, and sometimes overextend ourselves. And I can tell you, and there's a lot of people listening or watching the show that do the same thing. And a lot of this, I'm not going to name names just because I'm a stylish fella, but I do talk to and chat with and text with some of my friends that do have that going on. That they're overcommitted. They got too busy of a schedule. They really, honestly, can't handle it.
Well, like they say, if you want something done, give it to a busy person.
Yeah.
You know what that busy person is saying? Can't you see I'm busy? I got enough stuff. And you're laying this shit on me and you want it done by when?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah, we get busy enough. That's for
We
sure.
learn how to say no after a while, too.
Yeah, some people do, but some people don't.
It's a matter of self-preservation.
Yeah.
Got God will take care of it. It's okay. I'm saying
Yeah,
no.
but especially in your younger years, if you're still taking care of children, especially multiple children, and your job situation and the people in your family that all need your help, it just seems a little overwhelming sometimes to people. And what it really does, and this is my take on it, okay? I have found myself literally just running myself ragged over things that I was concerned about, but I found myself to be overly concerned about them and trying to steer too hard, trying to make everything go the way I thought it should go. But over the last several years, I really have kind of learned to let go of it a little bit and let it take. I'm there to guide it, but I'm not there to steer it.
Yeah, you're there to go with the flow. You're not the flow itself.
Right. And I remember years ago, I learned this lesson years ago. I may have stated this on the show over the years, but I went, the first time I ever rode a jet ski, I didn't get it. You know, I mean, and I'm a motorcycle guy. I've been riding bikes since I was 6 years old. Mini bikes and go-karts, and I know how to ride stuff. I know how to drive things. But this jet ski was just kicking my ass. I was taking off, and I was trying to steer it, and I was wobbling. I was just wiping out. The guy came over and thought the steering cables were broke or something, and finally, the group left, and they went, well, when you get it figured out. And I sat there, and I watched everybody else go, and apparently my ski's okay? So I go, well, what am I doing wrong? And what I was doing wrong is I was trying to steer it too much. I needed to give it a little gas and kind of let it take its own course, okay? And I did that, and in about 10 minutes... I was zooming right along, full speed, full throttle, caught up with everybody, and it was just an amazing day. And it's been an amazing. They're amazing machines, and they're a lot of fun. And the show comes to you from the Central Florida, and boy, on a nice clean lake, on a beautiful sunshiny day, those jet skis or ski-doos or what else do they call them? Wave runners. Those are all brands.
You know what they call them when they get old? Anchors.
Anchors. Yeah, they do. Yeah. And especially if you don't take care of them. If you ride them in the salt and don't do the whole clean out thing, man, they'll lock up on you. Yep. That's why I like riding them in freshwater. And the waves are smaller, but much smaller. And but that was a real lesson for me. To really just kind of let it go as it does, and then you kind of control it as you can, or as you should. But trying to control it all from the very beginning, it made everything very, very unstable. And I just, it was a big life lesson for me, and easy for me to assimilate into a scenario that's kind of teachable. So, that being said, I'm able to apply that to situations in my life that make me a lot mellower now that I know that I can give it a little bit of gas, let it see what it does, and then guide it and not try to oversteer it. So I thought that was a good topic for today, because here we are. It's the 24th of March. Even though I was off by 10 days earlier.
Yeah, it's daylight savings time.
I know, this daylight savings time is
10 days.
really throwing me off. I'm off by 10 days.
You got that 10 days in the bag somewhere.
10 days in the bag.
Well, it's okay, but can you figure out if it's AM days or PM days that you lost?
I still can't get up right in the morning. I'm still off on that.
Wait till you're my age.
Does it get worse? Yeah.
Everything gets worse.
I bet. But and I think, why can't we just stay on this time, this one here?
Yeah.
I like it to be light later.
Yeah, I mean, they did daylight savings times for the farmers, and then it was for the school kids. Kids aren't going to school anymore. We don't have any farmers. What's the use of it?
Well, you got Bill Gates.
Well, yeah, you turn on your ag machine and flip it on. They're like gigantic Roombas. They harvest everything. They're not humans anymore.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And, it's interesting. The show here, the imho.love show, is about CE5, which is Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind. That's human-initiated contact experiences through meditation, prayer, and thought to our extraterrestrial family out there, letting them know that we're here. And
they come.
And they come. Last month's, or it was this month. Back on the 10th, yeah.
Back on March, yeah.
Yeah. We had we talked about it once already, I think, but we had just a fantastic showing of what we came to see, or what we hoped we would initiate, and that's visual signs, energy lights and displays that are not, they're not lightning bugs, they're not.
No, they're craft, they're ships, they're entities, they're everything that we said they are. They're the crafts are all over the place.
Yeah.
And traveling at the speed of light, 10 times, 20 times the speed of sound, not making a whisper. They're all there. Mm-hmm. That's because we had a great group. And the group is going to be meeting again. But it gets me is I had somebody come into the group where, he wants to show up, and he's gives one of these signs in his
giving you the horns
booking photograph, and he's got these really bright eyes coming out of a dark figure, and it's like, whoa, I don't know if you're going to fit or not. I used to screen everybody, but it got so big I can't screen everybody. But somebody brings signs like that along, man. I mean, that young man, I got to have a conversation.
That's not the energy we're looking for, nor is it the energy that ET is looking for.
The other thing that I wanted to use as a teaching talk about is the use of the laser pointers.
Okay.
I mean, look. It's illegal for you to point a laser at a human aircraft. So why are you going to do it to extraterrestrials? They have eyes too. They may have super technologies, but rather what you should do with. I don't like using a laser. I very rarely use them. I have them, but I don't use them. Only to teach. Say, look, this is Orion. That's the constellation. You circle it. And that's it. And if a craft comes, you circle the area where the craft is. You don't point it directly at the craft. There are times, rare circumstances, where that is the case, where you're directly signaling them. That is a rare circumstance. So when you use your laser pointers, use it with courtesy. Circle the area. Don't be flashing it and trying to hit the thing with it. That's a sign of a lower intelligence, a lower being, and not a being that's not accustomed to greeting these entities the way they need to be greeted in the physical form. So, please don't screw up their eyes.
They won't
really come back.
Well, they got the great big look. See, look. Imagine how much that would hurt.
Right. Yeah.
So
stop it.
Stop it. Stop it. That's our Bob Newhart favorite psychiatrist. It's the best.
That is one of the best. Or I'll bury you in a box in the back of your backyard. That's funny. If you haven't seen it, you need to see that.
Yeah, if you want to have some fun.
Best routine.
It's on Mad TV. Google it or YouTube it. It's Bob Newhart, psychiatrist.
Stop it.
Stop it. It's brilliant. And really, in Mike and I's abbreviation of helping people deal with their issues, that's the answer you want to give a lot.
Right. Yeah, and nobody listens. I mean, there are people I know that are still complaining about the same crap 20 years later.
Yeah.
Why can't I move out of my house? I'm sick and tired of living there. I want a bigger kitchen. Stop it. Buy the house. Stop it. What good is dying with a lot of money if you're not happy?
Right, exactly. Oh, absolutely.
What's the point?
Yeah. It's exactly right. And but you know what, Mike? Over the last year, over 2020, and here we're going into 2021, which is on one side of the street, it's an absolute, flaming circus ground. It's just horrible.
Yeah.
But on the other side of the street, there's people that are coming out of that unusual situation. See, we're from Florida, so we really didn't get locked down like a lot of the eastern cities did.
Yeah, like they still have it. New York, New Jersey.
Yeah, we
California
didn't experience that.
No.
In fact, there was a lot of there was a couple of months there where it was all kind of still. It was kind of weird. Last March, I live in Countryside there by the mall, and you could pull out onto Countryside Boulevard, and there wasn't a car either way.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, I never really stayed home. I kept wandering around.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't start wearing a mask until, I had COVID twice.
Wait, the way you got it the second time is so hilarious. But
Hey, not everybody can say they got COVID a second time at a peyote festival.
went to a peyote ceremony and you didn't wear your mask.
I didn't know. Nobody else was either.
You.
I know. I'm a typhoid Michael. But
Typhoid Michael. That's funny. But there's a lot of people that are coming out of this with new eyes. They've shed some old scales. There are really people very excited about what's going on. And I think, in a way, the creator always uses what can be taken as bad, and he can make it good.
yeah, I've completely changed over the last 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah?
I mean, for 4 years I was like, build a wall, build a wall, build a wall. Now that the wall wasn't built and there's 6,000 people a day coming over, I'm saying, hey, it's not so bad. That's cheap labor. I can hire people for cash.
Right.
They don't care.
They'll get here. Here.
You just got to change your perspective, and everything is fine.
That's it. Yeah. Did you have the second glass of Kool-Aid? I think you had the second glass.
Oh man, no, it was the peyote.
Oh, the peyote. But and it's refreshing to see people trying new things and people making up their minds. And here's the other thing too. Change is not bad. Change is not bad, and especially if it's something that's really been yanking on your heartstrings or moving your mind around. And if it's something that you want to do deep down inside,
Yeah,
you should do it.
yeah, I agree.
And-
But be careful what you say, though,
Yeah.
because there's so much hate speech, and
Oh.
and I found out what the definition of hate speech is. Everybody says there's no definition for hate speech. I know of it. I know
Yeah?
what it is. Yeah, that's when you speak. They hate you for speaking that, and they hate what you say because it's the truth, and that's hate speech because it doesn't fit in with this Facebook crap or whatever.
Well, the
they're doing.
mainstream narrative
Yeah.
anymore
That.
is, yeah. Well, the ultra liberal POV, and which is finally accepted, okay? But when you start drawing closer to the middle or even to the conservative side, that's when, you really get scrutinized.
Oh yeah.
Go ahead.
Scrutinized. That's like scrutinized.
Some screw in the
Don't
eyes.
screw in the eyes, Yeah. Break your words apart there, man. It can
Yeah.
be humorous.
And Christine has been such a wonderful supply of good information. She deals with little people, and she sees things on a more innocent basis sometimes. In fact, the theme of the show, there's a book out. And I guess it's a New York Times bestseller. I missed it, but whatever. And the author's name is Jory John, Jory John. And the book is called The Good Egg. And it's a fun little thing. I mean, it's on Audible books on YouTube. They'll read it right to you, or you can buy the book or however you want to get it into your hands. And what it is, it's this egg that has 11 brothers and sisters, and he's the good egg, but all the other eggs in his crate are problematic. They cause him a lot of stress. And
chickens must be inbreeding.
Yeah, yes, it's the chickens that watch mainstream news. But they in the book, all of his, he just sees the rambunctiousness. He sees the awkward efforts that his egg family makes, and they really put a lot of burden on him to straighten things out when they mess it up. Okay,
middle egg.
He's a middle egg.
Yeah,
Definitely, he's a middle egg, and it's a cute read. I mean, and they name all the eggs. One of them's named Shell. One of them's named Shelby. They have no time for yolks, but. It's a cute read, and the remedy to what he does is he goes out and he takes some time away just for his own self. And the thing that he notices, he's starting to get some stress cracks, and he goes, "I got to get rid of these stress cracks, man. You guys are wearing me out."
Yeah.
So he takes a break. He goes out where it's quiet. He does some meditations. He does a little yoga. Or Yolka, and he kind of calms back down and realizes how much he really enjoys the world outside of his crazy family. Okay, but then he kind of goes, when he pulls himself together, he finally goes, he goes, I'm really okay with myself now. I feel okay about me. But I miss those people. I miss that love. I miss that family.
Yeah.
And he goes back. He goes back to them. And they're all very, very happy to see him, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
And really the bottom line is that your family is that's your core. That's what's important. And for a kid's book, it really does give you a nice balance. The lesson in it is very profound.
What is it, like how to deal with your whiteness if you're an egg?
Yes, your whiteness, your brownness, your greenness, your blueness, and So realizing that you do need to be okay with yourself, and there's several people watching the show right now. I'm talking right to you. You're on the verge of making some decisions in your life, and you need to make them. You need to, you're seeking this change that you really feel favor with, okay? But you're afraid to go. You're afraid to make the change. You're afraid to move forward. Go ahead and do it, because not only is this change allowable and also almost undoable, if you can undo these changes. You go out and you venture out and you make a change, and you find out that it's really not for you, that it's really not working out. You can also return to your crazy 11 brothers and sisters that were giving you stress cracks. They'll still be there. But if you have that feeling, you have that idea that you need to go keep yourself whole, okay? You need to go do it. Because what you allow will continue, okay? And if there's and there's sometimes people will just wear you out, and you don't even, I think a lot of times they don't even know they're doing it.
No, people don't with that kind of negative energy, or they'll suck the life right out of you. There, you know, in the Harry Potter books, there was what's the name of the? There's an entity that basically sucks the life out of you every time they come in contact
succubus.
with it. Well, that too, but actually that's a yeah. Yeah, so people will drain you and they don't know it. I don't think they can help themselves, and they really need professional help to do it. The problem is they never go, and nobody's friend enough to say, "Look, you need professional help about this." You know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're sucking the life out of me.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, enabling.
Yeah.
Okay. As you enable people to abuse you, okay, they will abuse you because you're letting it happen. Yeah. And
if they ain't putting money in your pocket, head the other way.
money in your pocket, peace in your heart, depth in your soul, those are the things you're looking for on the exchange. But if it's all a one-way scenario and it's just, the faucet only flows one way and they're not returning any wonderful living water to you.
Well, that's what they found with empaths generally is that empaths have a very difficult time with setting their own boundaries for themselves.
Yes.
Okay, so if you're not saying no and setting your boundaries, you're heading for a catastrophe. So if you're an empath, you need to learn how to say no. That's kind of how we started this, but
yep.
You gotta be able to do it. And if you don't have compassion for yourself or take care of it, it's like you go to an airplane, you got a kid next to you. The kid's mommy this, mommy that, daddy this, daddy that.
Right.
And the airplane starts going down. First thing you do when the oxygen masks, drop down is you don't take care of the kid first. You take care of yourself first.
Right.
Okay, you have to.
Right.
Okay, and that's the path of the empath. They've got to be able to do that, and then they can take care of everybody else.
Right.
Because they got their own oxygen on. So when the humanity's sucking the oxygen right out of you, put your mask on first.
It's how can I help you if you can't help yourself?
Right. Right.
And
so don't forget that.
And the big gift is enabling people to help themselves. It's a bigger gift than your moment-by-moment help. Letting someone realize, and I'll tell you what, and there's another lesson that comes out of that jet ski incident. When the whole pack left me behind, and here I am, like, motorcycle dude, and I can't get the ski going. I was there by myself, but you know what? I figured it out. I wasn't going to put the ship or the little boat on the side and not do it. I figured it out. I said, okay, this is not going to beat me. If those guys are doing it, I can do it. And sometimes, a failure to launch, people that, you got to watch the camera there.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. The failure to launch and people running the same rut year after year after year, it's because it only goes so far and they don't have to make a change because they know somebody's going to pick up their slack, somebody's going to cover their tab, somebody's going to dust them off and give them clean sheets and a hot meal. Okay, you need to let people, and especially the kids today. That's always such a weird expression.
You're such an old guy.
Yeah, I know.
These kids today.
The kids today.
It's like, who are you Sophocles?
Right. Well, like my son, wonderful guy and independent in many ways. But there are times, I'll come to his rescue if it's something that he really needs dad help with. But if it's something that I feel as though he can figure out on his own, I'll give him a pointer or a tip or, hand down a little lesson or something, equate the situation to something manageable. And then I let him have it. And sometimes he does okay, sometimes he makes the mistakes. But after he made the mistakes, he goes back and reviews and said, that's where I made a mistake, that's where I made a mistake, and that's where I made a mistake. So I actually did the right thing by kind of letting him go. It's like, like baby birds. They get pushed right out of the nest, man. They don't. The mom says, "You got to learn to fly, dude."
Yeah, it's like this old Palestinian guy used to tell me. He'd say, "Michael, you can be a success, but first you must suffer."
Yeah.
You know, he's like, right. It's like, really, you couldn't cut that any easier for me? It's like, yeah.
There's no frosting on that statement.
Yeah. Now get out of here. Go suffer. Yeah.
And
$50, please.
and it's really true. And if you look at it, if you look at the world, yeah, we're really rocking the table here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Jeez, I get it.
That's okay. Just equalize.
Yeah, no, it's okay. Keep the elbows, like my mom said, keep your friggin' elbows off the table.
Funny.
Okay.
When you let yourself make a mistake, and it's not the end of the world, so as it goes, you'll survive the mistake. But I can't go into it today, but there's a situation that I know of that is just probably the biggest failure to launch scenario I've ever heard of in my life. Just these people have just mollycoddled their kids to a point of disgusting. It's just absolutely disgusting. These kids can't do anything for themselves, and they're having a really, really hard time with life. How's that go? My father rode a donkey. I rode a horse. My child drives a car, but his son will ride a donkey. It's
because he racked up the car.
Right.
You know?
Because, he thought
you gave it to him.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't earn it. And that's what gets me about the whole reparations thing. You know, if we do reparations, to African Americans or whoever, we all have slaves somewhere in our family line.
Sure.
It doesn't matter, what age or when. I mean, Rome was built on slave behaviors. But I'm not going to Italy asking for money. I'm okay with spaghetti. All right? And the other thing is, if you're reincarnated, you're coming back next time as, I could be an African woman. Who knows? Treat everybody good. You know? I digress.
No, not at all. And that's the awareness that humanity is missing right now, that we're all absolutely connected to one another.
And no matter who it is, if you were to give me $1 million, okay, today, I'd squander it. You give me something that I don't work for, I have no respect for it. I have no respect for you. I have no respect for the gift.
Right.
And it goes. It's gone. So, if you make reparations in a generation, nobody has the money. Okay, it's not hereditary. You learn wealth by earning it and hanging on to it and passing it on generation after generation. Unfortunately, there are people that haven't had that chance in this lifetime around. But my parents were both orphans. Okay.
Wow.
So, I mean, everything I've gotten out of hard work. I was gifted and blessed in a lot of ways, but I also have, been given things and squandered them, and I know what the value of squanderous capitalism and money.
Right.
So, one very wealthy man said, "Michael, you're going to be rich someday, but you still think like a carpenter." It's like, yeah. Every time I go do something, it's like, okay, what's a carpenter making? How much is this? How much is it going to cost me if I'm living the life of a carpenter? And there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
I mean, a carpenter's not going to go out and spend $40,000 on a bass boat unless he's a really stupid carpenter.
Or
he's like,
or he owns a carpentry company.
Yeah, that's the other thing, but he's not going to, but that wouldn't be stupid. It's different than just a guy's pounding nails. But, it's like, it's...
Well, and... if you look at this too, if you look at all the great success stories of the world, many of the people came from an absolute deficit in their life. I mean, they had huge challenges. Ben Carson, the former Surgeon General, raised by a single mom, and he's one of the foremost brain surgeons.
Yeah, he was a neurosurgeon. Yeah.
Neurosurgeon.
Yeah.
And an amazing guy.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure there were people on his same block that got nowhere near his accomplishments in life. Nowhere near.
Yeah, and he you know, other than the fact that he paid $35,000 for a desk while he was in office, but you know, there are people that
Hey, a nice desk is up there.
Yeah, well, it's the government never let go of it, but you know, there are people that live lives of slavery and they don't even know it.
Yes.
I mean, it's like, you know, I was a pariah in my family because I was the first one in my family that anybody ever knew that had to buy a car on time. I paid it off within a year, and I've, you know, everything cash ever since. But you know, I have friends now where, you know, the couples are, and you know, one dies, and it's like, okay, we got 2 car payments on time now. We have to trade both in so the survivor can get a cheaper and smaller car. For Christ's sakes, they're 65, 70 years old, and they're still paying off cars. They've been doing it their entire lives.
Yep.
They've been slaves their entire lives, rather than say, hey, you know, I got to put a little bit of money aside, and I'll fix these things as I go along. Mm-hmm. But they live in slavery, and they don't even know it.
Well, I've been in the automotive industry most of my life, and you would be absolutely amazed at people that don't even look at the bottom line. They don't look at a total deferred price. All they look at is the monthly payment.
Right.
And they push it as far as they can push it. You know, and believe me, I've sold cars, and I've tried to give people the desires of their heart. And what happens is you got a guy coming in, he goes, I need a new pickup truck, but I can't go over $400 a month. Well, in conventional financing on a 48-month note, this guy's payment is $650, okay? But now they have 84-month payment plans,
Yeah.
and you're going to hit that guy's payment. He's going to be driving in negative equity for 70 months.
Yeah.
He won't catch up to the value of that vehicle for 70 months.
Right. By then it's useless.
And then it's getting very, very close to needing replacement at that time. So to where if you'd have been a little smarter, and the other thing too is look at the total deferred price of your car, not just the payment. You know, on that very note, I'm using a semi-real life scenario, okay? The guy's total deferred payment on a $34,000 pickup truck was $48,800. He paid every dollar of it in interest and extra time.
Wow.
And that's, and you know, it's something that had he planned a little better, even if he had to schedule it out for a little while, but I mean, no money down. And here's the other thing that's happening with car people. They have negative equity going in. They're rolling their negative equity into the next car. So you're starting out so far behind the 8 ball, okay? And there's other people that look at finances more abstractly, and they go, well, but if you were driving what you needed for X amount of dollars per month, you know, they've resigned themselves to the fact that you never truly own a car anyway, okay, because they're on this payment cycle. And I understand what they're saying, and I'm also, as a guy that sells vehicles from time to time, I'm thankful for their contribution to financial reasoning.
Yeah.
Okay, but if it's somebody you really care about, like yourself or your immediate family, don't let that happen to them.
Yeah, okay. And for an example, I know for a fact that you gave away a car to one of your in-laws.
Yes.
Okay, and then let's say that's a way of reparations. You know, he didn't pay anything for it. He had nothing invested in it. And to prove my point, whatever happened to the car?
The car got abused. The car really didn't even get maintained.
Yeah.
I never got paid for it.
And that's human nature at its very lowest point.
Yeah.
That is human nature to do that, and that's why reparations will never work.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sure. Exactly. And yeah, there was a couple scenarios with that. Actually, one, he almost paid me back. He left a deficit, but he did make some efforts along the way.
Yeah, but still, the bottom line is still the same.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
You know,
you're exactly right.
Yeah, he tried. He tried. He invested that reparations money in a question.
Bag of weed.
Yeah, bag of weed. Could have made money if he hadn't smoked it all up. But you know.
Right. There was something that you posted, Mike, earlier in the week about.
Yeah, before I got de-Facebooked. before I got,
Are you out?
Yeah, I'm out. I got another like 28 days or something. I made the mistake of saying something about the people that wear strange clothing, and it was truthful. It was a statement made by somebody, the head of the psychiatric department at Johns Hopkins Medical School, but apparently Facebook had some issues with that.
Yeah,
And it was actually first published in Time magazine in 2015. So
yeah. Well, that's the old take on the new narrative.
yeah, see, the problem is it was politically correct 5-6 years ago, but now it's no longer politically correct, even though it's still factually correct. So I'm in Facebook jail, and if you're trying to get a hold of me, give it a break. I'm around.
You can still message, right?
Yeah, I can, but I won't pay attention. I'm too busy reading stuff about like the hand-drawn collider and the existence. Did you know that our universe is based on an electron theory of reality?
Okay.
Yeah, it's based on electrons.
Okay.
Okay. And then they got this collider in CERN, Switzerland, and I don't know if I sent you the video or not, but what occurred to me is it's a mile long, it's a mile around, and they shoot protons into each other, and they make them go the speed of light, which would have been unheard of 20 years ago. And they've invested all this friggin' money, and if you take a look at the video, everything is engineered. Everything is thought out. Everything is planned. Everything is milled. I mean, if you think an engine is, a Tesla is a high-tech engine, take a look at this CERN collider. You take a look at the height of engineering in that thing.
Oh God!
And the construction, and everything else. It is overwhelming, and that was the big vista for me. But what they've discovered are beauty quarks.
Beauty quarks.
Beauty quarks.
Okay.
And muons.
Muons.
Muons, yes, muons. And the best way I have
You're
to
gonna get us thrown in Facebook jail.
Yeah, muons.
Saying muon.
That's a muon. It's a muon. That's a muons. But what has happened though is that muons are deviant electrons, and they're deviant because they would expect all electrons to behave the same, but these electrons deviate from the standard model, which is why they call them muons. But it's kind of funny,
Yeah. Eggplants.
Eggplants, right?
Yeah.
And so, according to the scientists involved in the experiment, this is the biggest thing that's happened to science in 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So these are quirky quarks.
Yeah, well, yeah, they are. They're misinformed quarks who don't behave the way they're supposed to.
Really?
So yeah. So what they're finding in an electron-based universal model is that once again it's proving the quantum variance within the classical model of physics, which Einstein referred to as Boogiata action at a distance. But it's just another way of proving that the universe does not behave the way that we've thought that it has been behaving all along. Now, in the quantum model, which began 100 years ago with Max Planck and Schrodinger, and I'm no physicist, by the way. I'm just, I'm just like
you had to take it to graduate.
No, I didn't. I didn't have to take it at all to graduate. But the thing was, it's been a passion and interest of mine. It's because you figure out how the universe operates. Yeah. So once again, it's proving what Schrodinger and Planck had said all along, is that consciousness, and I'm sure that there's going to be a consciousness angle to this. They haven't explored it yet. But the universe is not a material universe. It has material as a consequence of the vibratory patterns of matter, but it is not a material universe. So yeah, this is a pretty thick pattern here. But they're finding that everything is not, and we know that from our contact work, is that we make contact with entities and beings that are so far away. They're literally dimensions apart from us, that we make contact with, or else someplace else in the farthest part of the universe, and they can show up in a matter of seconds from nowhere.
Wow.
So, well, you've seen it, for Christ's sakes. You see
Oh,
it
yeah.
all the time. This is no surprise for us. But for the people that are, getting us, and UFOs are finally getting, the COVID funding bill, required the military to divulge everything they knew about UFOs, UAPs. There are a whole bunch of names they call them now. Within 180 days, I don't think that's going to happen.
Right.
There's no teeth in the bill.
Well, Dan Bongino.
Yeah, he was on it today.
Yeah.
And he says,
Check your somebody trying to message us.
and he said, nobody good.
Are we all right?
Yeah, we're fine. There's, the Goldberg star George Siegel dies at 87. Sorry, George, but but I knew you'd always stage a comeback, but not in this lifetime.
Right.
But yeah, he said, this is the biggest story in the news. Why isn't the news jumping all over this? He was absolutely right.
Right.
It's like, yeah, they're extraterrestrials. We know about them. And the government has all this stuff, and we're not telling you. It's just like, okay.
I
got to make my car payment.
We say it a lot on the show. That's what keeps us tame. That's what keeps us down. That's what keeps us in this indentured servanthood is food at arm's reach, climate-controlled environments, and cars with shiny wheels.
Right. You got to get my rims.
Yeah. You're renting your rims.
Yeah.
That's always smooth.
Right. Yeah, they look good on my brome.
Another wise financial decision.
Rent
your rims. But
oh man.
Well, and I think what's going to happen is, here's our mindset, the CE5, the HICE community. We don't need government disclosure to make us believe. We already believe. We already know. We already know past what they know, we think. And how, but and is it just that they couldn't come out and just say it because too many people would reject it? Are they afraid or they may just be afraid of stirring the narrative of not believing?
Yeah, well,
they've been having that for a long time.
Well,
and that's the whole tinfoil hat thing that we've been labeled with all these years.
Right, exactly. You had Trump, you had COVID, you had Biden, now UFOs. It's like, how many times you gonna cry wolf before nobody believes you?
Well, and that's the thing is that will be the absolute deal breaker with all of this stuff. If ET shows itself in a huge public way,
yeah,
that's going to change the whole rules.
Well, they are showing themselves in a huge public way to all the CE5 groups that get together and make contact.
Yeah,
I mean, we have 327 members in the group, 27 new members in a month.
That's beautiful.
It took us a year to get our first 27 members, and now we get 27 members in a month. And if that was a stock I was investing in, I'd put every dollar I had in it.
Consciousness blossoms.
It's right. And eventually it's going to come around to better lives for everybody. I mean, literally, the jig is up on the materialists.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the thing, minimalism. It's the least you can do. And when you realize that as we sit in a giant art studio full of
stuff,
all kinds of stuff, this is kind of remnants of the 90s and the early 2000s. Though.
I still have my Serapis from when I was a kid, and I'm like buying knives and smuggling them from Mexico. Some of this stuff here is like ancient, but it's all got personal history.
But this is all part of your adventure.
Yeah, it is.
And you knew as you were making these adventures that all this stuff would come to rest.
It'll come together at some point in time.
Yeah.
And serve us right here today.
Yep. And look at this beautiful. And folks, if you notice, I'm wearing a flannel shirt in March in Florida. And this may be my last occasion to wear a flannel shirt till November. So as much as I love them, they are not appropriate Florida wear past the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I broke out my fishing jerseys.
Yeah, here come your vented shirts.
Yeah,
and, they're great. They're great.
Time to go fishing again.
Well, folks, we're here most Wednesdays. I'm going to miss a week or so doing some more traveling. And that's been an absolute blessing. I get to drive up to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan in a couple of weeks.
Take your flannel shirt.
That'll be a flannel shirt.
It'll still be cold in Michigan. It'll be cold until July 4th.
And I'm heading back to Denver a couple more times. So yeah, and they could have a flannel shirt day in the middle of May.
They can have them in August. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
But I've been so blessed to be able to travel throughout all this, and just wonderful motivations, seeing and doing. I can't. I'm just blown away at the beauty of the occasions that I've had. But what we try to tell you every week, folks, is don't let your world get small. Don't watch mainstream media. Turn off your television as often as you possibly can. Although, on the other end of the spectrum, Christine turned me on to a show called Resident Alien. Have you seen that?
No, I don't have a TV.
But it's on a Fire Stick, so you can choose it.
I don't have a Fire Stick either.
You know,
sorry.
We have Fire Sticks out there. Once a month.
I got all this stuff. I don't have any of that.
No
stuff.
Fire Sticks. And I'm the same way.
But I got 3 Sony Betamax TVs.
Yeah,
never mind.
With VHS what do they call it? Are they VHS tapes,
VHS,
right? Yeah.
It's like, just in case it ever comes back.
They're really handy.
Yeah,
those things.
Yeah, I used to take those in the evidence room and watch tapes and stuff like
that. Yeah.
So
that's so cool. Anyway, a true Renaissance man. But Renaissance electronics is a whole nother world. But yeah, folks, and I post stuff on my page all week long, and I try to encourage, and I try to share some humor and some laughter. Had a beautiful weekend last week at Porky's Comedy Club over there in St. Cloud. In fact, next week they've got Killer Bees coming in. Really, really funny Southern act. Just a great guy. And man, it felt so good to be in a room full of laughing people.
Yeah. Were they wearing masks?
No, not in St. Cloud,
Thank
dude.
God. Yeah.
They're...
Yeah, people that fly Confederate flags on the back of their truck very rarely wear masks.
You don't see a mask on them. Yeah, the old Stars and Bars, brother. But they were great audiences, and Vinny and Eric, the guys that run that room, and Fran and Mariah, they're all just really, really wonderful people. And Vinny, the owner, he really does believe in the gift of laughter, and that's why he has a comedy club. He should have done this many, many years ago, because it was always his desire. He did other businesses in the meantime that made him money, that actually made this possible.
Yeah.
But that feeling of those people, okay, they weren't socially distanced. We respond really well within a few feet of each other. I feel your energy sitting next to me, and you feel mine. And it's amazing how you can even transcend that energy. You can send it across the country if you get focused enough on it.
It's like Ernest Angley. Put your hand on the television set, and then the other hand on your wallet. Get ready to shell out.
Ernie Angie. That's like Vinny used to say. But that energy, humans, we all need to be together, man. This, I'm not saying if there's somebody that's sick in your group and they're sick, please isolate them. I mean, why wouldn't you do that anyway? But what I'm saying is, when you're well, please do gather again. Please do hang out with your friends. Please do share some laughter. Because I tell you, those people there at St. Cloud, Friday night, Bone Crusher show. Saturday night, pretty good. I'm going to say Friday night was a 9. Saturday night was an 8. Nice crowd. Worked with Ginger Kelly, funny lady, and Rob Garguelio.
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, I know. And John, the MC, nice guy, funny.
Yeah, Legum. That's how we didn't talk about.
Legum, that's Legum.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, we'll just get to that. That's good enough to.
You can begin the show on that one.
Yeah, Well, the next show
Let's
we
talk
do.
about Legum next show.
Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really beautiful. Thank you for that, by the way.
You're welcome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is the imho.love show. I'm Lou Angelwolf. That's Mike Murburg. If you're interested in the CE5 adventure, Close Encounters of the Fifth Kind, or Human-Initiated Contact Experience, we'd like to hear from you. You do need to make email contact with Mike at darbyranchce5@gmail.com. That's DARBYRANCHCE, the number 5, at gmail.com. Write to Mike. He'll send you the protocols, what we're expecting, what you need to expect, what you can anticipate. But those 30 people that came last month, it was an absolute pleasure to share that time with them, to share the experience with them. And it's a beautiful time of meditation and peace and happiness. And really,
out of this world stuff that happened.
it is. It's But here's the thing: in that Resident Alien show, one of the things that the Resident Alien, the take on the whole thing, it's an alien that crashes here, an ET that crashes here, and he's supposed to come here to wipe out the planet.
Yeah.
But as the show goes on, he finds the beauty of humanity, and as it goes on, he's less and less compelled to annihilate the planet.
Just take half.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it's just, you can have Cleveland, Toledo. Anyway, in that, and in one of the scenes, it talks about. He goes, humans think that the universe is so immense. Okay, he says, but the alien says, really, it's not. And the reason they don't know anything about it is because they've never been there. So, in that light. And there's some very, very profound stuff in the show. The point of view is very good. Catch that if you can. I don't recommend TV shows, but that one to me, it's got a little bit of a dark sense of humor to it, which I find amusing.
What's the name of the show again?
It's called Resident Alien.
Oh, okay.
And it's really well cast, and it's funny. It's interesting, and it's shot in the most beautiful town of Ladysmith, Vancouver. Ladysmith out there in Canada. It's a small town near Vancouver.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember if I've been there.
You probably have.
Yeah, I've been through that area.
Yeah,
It's been a while.
Vancouver's awesome.
Yeah. Vancouver's nice. I like British Columbia. I prefer. Oh God. The one to the east of British Columbia.
Calgary?
Yeah, no, the region. Okay, no.
There.
British Columbia will do.
British Columbia. Close enough for a couple of Florida boys.
I'm getting old. I can't remember stuff.
Yeah. All that stuff. Yeah. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in, listening. Please like, share, subscribe. Share this any way you want. If we hit a point for you, if we made a reference that you enjoy or that you like, please feel free to share it in any format. The show also appears on BitChute. That's BITCHUTE, BitChute. It's on YouTube later on.
Alberta.
Yeah,
okay.
Okay.
Still, Saskatchewan is okay, but Northern Ontario is nice too.
Oh, Canada's gorgeous, but you can't even go in there anymore.
Well, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly.
It's sad. Okay.
Yeah, and also, too, folks, like I said, get hold of Mike at darbyranchce5@gmail.com if you're interested in the CE5. We tell you every week, this all is about being well with yourself. We have found some really, really wonderful ways outside of our normal parameters I truly think that we're on to something incredibly old but refreshingly new. There's really nothing older than this, is rediscovering your origins, and this helps us day by day to find that. So we say it every week, ladies and gentlemen: use your head, trust your gut, and your heart will take you home. So you run it through those 3 filters, you're generally going to be okay. So, any closing words, Mike?
No, peace, y'all.
Hey, thank you so much, and we'll be back 2 Wednesdays from now. Whatever that thing is. We should get a calendar.
Yeah, 2 weeks. Give or take daylight savings time, 10 days.
It could be, it could be the 33rd of March. Ladies and gentlemen, you guys have been absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much. We love you, and see you soon.